Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by the My Reader Minutes. I have breaking news. This is regarding Karen Huger. Um, I wanted to come by and just let you know I was reading page 6, and according to page 6, it says the RHOP star Karen Huger's Bravo future in jeopardy following the DUI verdict. Um, they say she needs to clean up her act, pretty much. Um, they said the word on the street is Karen Huger's future at Bravo is up in the air, and if she doesn't she needs to get herself together. Page 6 has exclusively learned that the network is aware it has a lot to consider after the Real Housewives of Potomac star, who has been on the reality show since season 1, was found guilty of the DUI. She would need to clean up her act to move forward with her, a source tells us Thursday. However, we're also told no official casting conversations have taken place. The insider adds that since season 9 of RHOP, which is currently airing, was already shot, her scenes are not going to be affected. But page 6 has reached out to the reps of the reality star and to Bravo, but no one has gotten back to them. The 61-year-old was arrested for driving under the influence in March after she crashed her Maserati into a median and a crosswalk sign at an intersection. No one was hurt in the incident. Following a 2-day trial, though, this week, a jury deliberated for 5 hours and found her guilty of the DUI. Negligent driving, failure to control speed to avoid a collision, and failure to notify authorities of an address change. She was acquitted of an additional reckless driving charge. Now, I don't know why she was acquitted of reckless driving, because that's the one I would have kept. But the one about not notifying the authorities of an address change, when was she supposed to have notified them? Because I'm sure she, as you recall, she couldn't put her hands on the driver's license. And whatever they found was probably old one, because it had an older older mailing address on it. So I guess when she got in her paperwork and came to her senses, maybe she could have read through. She might have thought that maybe that's when they thought that she should have alerted the authorities or something at some point. I don't know. She also made other bizarre remarks, such as stating she was Thomas Jefferson's concubine and telling a cop during an interrogation that he was white and poor. Now, I do remember that she was saying something about white and poor, but I think it might have been taken out of context, and hear me out. I remember she was getting annoyed by the computer that read the form to her. And I remember she kept going on and on and on and on about how, I guess she says, can you turn it off? She kept saying, can you turn it off? It's really an annoyance or something she kept saying, right? Or irritant or something she said, can you turn it off? Like it was loud. It was probably ricocheting in her brain. You know what I mean? And it did come across loud, even in the footage. But she's like, oh, she said, I'm not listening. I can't hear what she says. You sit down. She said, you sit down. You talk to me. He was like, no, I need you to listen to this. Her thing was, I don't want to read it. And she said, what do you read? And then she said, what do you, and I remember her saying, what do you play that for all the poor? I remember saying the poor people. And then she said, dumb people. He says, you play that for dumb people. Because she kept trying to emphasize how intelligent she was and that she didn't need anything to read anything to her. However, on the other hand, she said she didn't want to read the form because she just had her cataracts done and she couldn't see it. So my thing, she would have been a perfect candidate for having the computer read her the form. But I digress. But I feel like that's statement was taken out of context because she was all over the place. She was all over the place in her conversation. I don't think that's what she said. And then again, if she said it, she said it. I don't know. But I'm thinking, because I remember her distinctly saying, she said, you run this by people? Like she couldn't get her words together because she was trying to have an intelligent conversation, but she couldn't. She said, "You run this by people?" She said, "You do this. You do this for dumb people. This is for dumb people that evidently couldn't read, right?" She said, "You do that to the poor, white, black, green." I remember she said something like that. So I don't know if she was actually calling the officer poor and white. I think it was in relation to the machine. My opinion, my take, go back and look at my video on it because the audio is much clearer in that full body cam video. When she's at the precinct, this much you have to listen. You have to really focus because I believe that's what she's talking about. Moving on. Shout out to Misha. Okay, then it says Huger is not the first housewife to be charged with a DUI, though. The Real Housewives of New York City alum Luann de Lesseps and Real Housewives of Orange County star Shannon Beater have both been arrested for the same crime. However, it was the first time either of the latter two reality stars had committed the offense. So, as a result, they would both escape jail time and subsequently return to Bravo. So, Hugo, in the meanwhile, has been arrested for DUI at least one other time in 2016. So, that was 10 years ago. Well, literally almost 10 years ago. According to, okay, so I guess this is Karen saying, she said, "I was pulled over into a parked area where you should not park. I turned off the car and I called my husband," she said at the time. "However, the teddy bear cops found me first and I collected my DUI." So that must be what she said to Bossip. Huger is now facing up to 2 years in prison for her second offense. A sentencing hearing for her case has been scheduled for January the 29th, 2025. Her lawyer told People that they are disappointed in the jury's verdict, but that he had his team reserve his client's right to an appeal and intend to fully pursue justice on her behalf. So, maybe she should do her campaign first. I don't know how long it is that you have to appeal a case, a verdict, but she needs to start her campaign like yesterday. Like she should have started her campaign like all through waiting for this trial because maybe they would have had some leniency on her. Maybe they wouldn't have convicted her. You know what I'm saying? Like if she had already said, "Well, I know that I had a few beers. I wasn't in my best shape, you know, and then going out working with people, working in a group, going to AA meetings or whatever you need to do to show that you are trying to be on the right path." She didn't own her stuff. She's so busy saying, "I'm rich and I'm this and I'm that." You need to come down off that, little concubine. My apologies. I'm sorry. I digress. But I'm saying, like, that's what she should have done. She should have been on her campaign. So therefore, if it didn't work out in her favor, when she appealed, she could say, "Well, this is what I've been doing. I've been doing this since March or April of 2024 because I realized the error of my ways." I mean, it might be too late to start the campaign now, but it's never really too late to start the campaign if you're trying to turn over a new leaf. But now you're here a month away from your sentencing and you could get 2 years. Now, I don't have her getting 2 years because I think the prosecution is asking for 60 days. And she may get 60 days, or if she gets longer, maybe it'll be some type of house arrest or something like that. I don't have them putting her in jail. I just don't. So, so yeah, what do y'all think? What do you think about Miss Karen Huger? How do you think she should handle this going forward? I know if she plans on going to the reunion, everybody thinks she's going to skip out. But if she plans on going to the reunion, own up, own your stuff, give the apologies to your cast members, give the apology to the network, Make sure that you let them know that you appreciate the opportunity to be on the platform, and that yeah, you had a couple beers, and yeah, maybe didn't have, wasn't the best judgment at that time, because people, when they are inebriated, don't realize how far gone they are normally, and they're invincible. They can do anything because your mind, your brain is so confused by the chemical reaction. It's making you think you can do stuff that you can't. You know, so I get it. I can't sit up here and say that I have never been drunk before, because I have. Have I gotten behind the vehicle, a wheel, and drove? I might have probably done that. Not to the point where I was slurring my words, though. I don't think. I mean, but you don't know. You know what I'm saying? I know that I have taken a drink or two and probably been a little tipsy. I think we all that tend to partake in drinking, we go out to a club, we go out to a bar, we might not always benefit us to get behind the wheel, because it does impair you even in the slightest. Your reactions aren't as fast. No, you may not be falling down drunk, but it does impair you somewhat. So I try not to do that. Most times, if I am drinking, I'm home or at a relative's house. I have gone out socially and met up for drinks before, but as long as you put food on your stomach, kind of like, you know, and who knows if she had been eating. We don't know, but clearly in that footage, she was done. She was lit, as she said. I'm lit. So, yeah, leave your thoughts, comments below before you leave the building. Like this video. And until next time, everyone be blessed. Peace.